The negotiations between the United States and Iran in 2026 appear to centre on four major issues: Iran's nuclear program, sanctions relief and frozen Iranian assets, security in the Strait of Hormuz, and regional conflict and proxy groups. The exact text of any final agreement has not been released publicly, and both sides are still giving contradictory statements. But based on reporting from Reuters, Axios, Al Jazeera and other outlets, the framework being discussed looks roughly like this. This is the core of negotiations. The US is demanding that Iran stop or severely limit uranium enrichment, hand over or dilute highly enriched uranium stockpiles, accept international monitoring and inspections, and restrict technologies that could rapidly produce a nuclear weapon. They also want them to potentially freeze parts of its missile program. Washington has reportedly pushed for zero enrichment, though Iran insists that it has the right to civilian nuclear enrichment under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. One proposal under discussion involves Iran exporting enriched uranium to another country such as Russia, international supervision of Iran's nuclear fuel cycle, and time-limited restrictions possibly lasting 20 years according to some reports. Iran has publicly rejected claims that it already agreed to surrender all enriched uranium, showing that talks remain unresolved. In exchange, Iran wants US sanctions lifted or eased, access to frozen Iranian financial assets abroad, the ability to export oil freely again, and relief from banking and shipping restrictions. Some reports suggest billions of dollars in frozen Iranian funds could be released. Oil exports would resume under international oversight, and that maritime insurance and shipping access would be restored. However, the Trump administration reportedly wants sanctions relief to happen only after Iran's nuclear concessions are verified. A major part of the negotiations now involves reopening and stabilising the Strait of Hormuz. The draft framework reportedly includes Iran reopening shipping lanes, removal of naval mines and threats to commercial traffic, along with US easing its naval blockade posture, and guarantees for freedom of navigation. This matters because roughly 1/5 of the global oil trade passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Talks also appear tied to broader regional ceasefires. Issues reportedly being discussed include reducing attacks involving Hezbollah, de-escalation with Israel, Houthi activity in the Red Sea, and Iranian regional military influence. Some proposed ceasefire provisions reportedly cover Lebanon and maritime security across the Gulf region. The biggest obstacles are whether Iran can retain any uranium enrichment capability, how inspections would work, the sequencing of sanctions relief, and the domestic political opposition in both countries. There are also Israeli concerns about any agreement that leaves Iran with nuclear infrastructure. Iranian hardliners fear surrendering strategic leverage, while many US critics argue that the deal could resemble the 2015 JCPOA nuclear agreement that President Trump withdrew from during his first term. At the moment, both governments say progress has been made, but neither side is claiming a final agreement has been reached. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.